go.
Is that it?
You're in.
Holy crap.
You're in.
So, the fix was silly. Oh yeah, wow, what's up? Oh hey, look at that. What are we we're testing to see if this thing actually works. If you guys caught the show on Saturday. I don't have I don't have a voice right now. Hang on. Oh yeah, microphone's on.
What?
So what's up guys? How's it going? We were having all those technical difficulty on Saturday. The show started a half hour late. If you caught the live show yesterday, we had like a 4:3 aspect ratio. So we're doing some work today to figure out what the heck is going on. So you guys being on here right now is actually a positive thing because that means we figured it out. Which is kind of like, as I referred today, jiggling the wires. So I, of course, have lost my voice. Let's pan over here to Port Fernando.
What?
Yeah, shush. So, hey, this is perfect spot for this, right in my head. You can't even see me. So, we hope you guys enjoyed the video we put up on the car show on Sunday, the Sunday SQ show. The one funny thing in the comments, there was a bit of comment about being able to tune a DSP. I can assure you I can tune a DSP. I'm pretty good at it. Not great, you know, I'm not Jeff Baller status, but I'm pretty good at it. So, actually it's funny, this is a tea, or I'm sorry, a honey flavored cough drop I'm sucking on right now to kind of tug through this little test to see if this works. Well, yeah, anything cool we should talk about? Dean, is there something wrong with the mic? You sound funny. No, the mic is perfectly fine. That's actually the one thing that was worried. Something's wrong with Dean. Dean's voice is broke. What's up from Vegas? What's going on? Hey, Fernando. Cargiff says hi.
Cargiff.
Car show is great. Wish there was some Canadian though. You know, should probably talk to Shaughnessy and see if they have any of that stuff going on up there. If you guys would like to see more of stuff like that, just let us know. Because, I mean, honestly, we don't know how you guys feel about, like, stuff like that. Because there's always that disconnect between, like, we know you guys want to see stuff in the Bay. It's just a wide, I mean, I know our channel covers a really wide aspect of things between installs and reviews and interviews and going to live events. Is, you know, we've done a few with, you know, like Knowledge Fest and stuff like that, but we really haven't gone to car shows and done that kind of thing. We don't know how you guys would react to that. So if that was something, got a Hall Honey right here. So if that's something you guys would like, just let us know, because, you know, we can make that happen. Hey, what make power wire before the fuse burn up battery and the amp and a 2017 Ram running cascade? Okay, what would make the power wire before the fuse burn up at the battery? Funny you should ask. So one of the most deadly things for power wire, believe it or not, has nothing to do with the power wire, has to do with how tight that fuse is. If you'll notice this guy right here on the end of this amplifier, and pardon me, I'm looking at the screen off to the side, so we'll get a little closer. Notice that giant thing right there, that hole, that chasm. It looks like Darth Vader's mask in the last Star Wars movie. So what killed this amplifier was a loose ground wire. Believe it or not, the #1 killer of fuse holders underneath the hood are loose power wires.
Or loose grounds.
Or loose grounds. But at the battery, typically when you know, the nice thing about ferrules is ferrules help to compress that wire inside the sleeve, and then you tighten down. And then, which is nice. Sorry. The other problem is if you're using the type of fuse holder that has the 2 bolts, a lot of them don't come with lock washers. So as they heat up from the current draw, the metal expands and contracts and loosens that bolt, Next thing you know, you have a loose power wire. It starts to arc. Arc creates heat. You melt it to a million pieces. Normally we have one or two of them laying around here. I'm kind of surprised we don't. We don't have one of those, do we?
What?
A burnt up fuse holder?
No.
I thought we did.
Oh, we have.
Do we have
I
some?
don't know where is it.
I don't know where it's at. Normally we got a couple of them laying around here so that we can like show you guys what we're talking about. You know how we love to show and tell, but that's usually what causes that. It's a J Audio 130 amp fuse. No, it's okay. The size really doesn't matter as long as you're running the right power wire. The only thing that would cause the fuse holder to melt would be a loose connection for sure. Not really sick, just lost my voice, man. It's one of them days. What do we got here? You guys have... I'm watching from the window. No, actually what it is we're doing a software update on his car over here, and we're also adding in a nickel USB adapter to his cigarette lighter.
How do you?
I'm sorry, I turned the camera.
No, that's fine. Just keep it.
So, while we have it in for the software update, we're going to go ahead and, you know, he wants the nickel. It's his wife's car, so he's getting the nickel. Works cool. Any idea where the grommet under the hood of 04 Acura TL to run a 4-gauge power? So typically in a Honda, if it's a clutch, you're on your own, man. You're going to have a lot of fun trying to find that hole. If it isn't a clutch car, I mean it's just a brake and a gas, go where the clutch would be. You can tap right in. You can usually drill through there and get your hole. Is that about the right assessment? Yeah. If a Honda has, if it's a stick, man, it's tough. It's no fun. Have you had static from having the gains on an LC7 too high? I have a lot of things happen from having the gains on an LC7 too high. LC7i puts out a lot of voltage, so if you turn them gains up too high, bad things will happen. Static is probably one of them. The one thing I can tell you about an LC7i that you just have to make sure. I know I sound like crap. I'm sorry. A lot to do. Sleep. What the heck? Sleep. Slow it down. From Mexico. One thing I can tell you from the LC7i is that check your voltage. Voltage is one of the #1 problems that people have with LC7is, is that they just like they have a bad ground or they have a bad constant 12 volts going to it. So make sure you put a meter on those that they have proper voltage going to them, because when you are putting a lot of current through it, even though it doesn't seem like it should, it is really drawing some power. Hello, it's the kid that visited you today. What's up, Alex? There's your cat. Cool. Alex stopped by today from Washington.
Man? Thank you so much for coming.
Came by with the family. They're headed out to Orlando or O-Town to visit the theme parks later this week.
They're gonna do.
Wanted to stop by and say hi. They're gonna do all the cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna hit all my favorite spots. What's up, fellas? Just noticed the show. Yeah. So what we're doing is just testing out this. Audio control D4.800 or LC. You're gonna do the D instead of the DSR1. DSR1 is cool, but honestly, do the built-in. You'll have a lot more fun with it, and there's no reason to not do the built-in, unless you need the extra channels. So, you know, that would be the only benefit I could see, is if you want to do extra channels. The D4.800 is going to give you subwoofer output, like we call it, our favorite 5-channel amplifier configuration. Because you do the D4.800 and you add one of the nice sub amps onto it, like either the 1.800 or the 1.1500, and awesome it goes. Is Morel ever going to come make a DSP? It's funny you should ask that, Larry. I had that same conversation with Casey when we were discussing the putting stuff in my car and just getting to work out our deal with Morel and talking about them with you guys. And I was like, you guys have amplifiers? It's getting worse. Hold on.
Just
are you
drink
guys,
some water, man.
I don't have it. It's over there. Are you guys going to do a DSP? And he's like, dude, we have the best DSP ever, all lined up and ready to go. The problem with DSP isn't building the DSP. It's building the support structure behind the DSP.
Who's going to take care of it?
So who can talk? Who's going to answer the phone when everyone has a question about DSP? Right now, they don't have a team in place to deal with those kind of questions. You know, asking what size the subwoofer enclosure needs to be or what a tweeter should be crossed over at is one thing. Going, hey man, I don't know how to use this DSP that I just spent $1,000 on. That's a whole nother group of people. So right now, that's the problem, is they just need to figure out what they're going to do for tech support. You're welcome, Alex. Thank you again for stopping by. It was great to meet you and your family. So let's go back a little bit. I'm sorry if I missed your questions. Good deal. Okay. Oh, yeah, there you go. Excellent. That would be a great combination. Can you discuss more about load resistors and integration? All right, so load resistors are something that some of you are familiar with and a lot of people get confused on. So a speaker puts a load on an amplifier, that 4 ohm, that 2 ohm, that 8 ohm, that 16 ohm load that goes onto an amplifier. What car manufacturers have done is they've gotten kind of tricky. They don't, what's up, Bobby? So they've gotten kind of tricky. What they want is, if a speaker should blow and it goes to an open circuit or the ohm load changes drastically, they want to shut that channel off on that amplifier so that you don't blow up the amplifier, so you don't make a situation that's bad already worse, or worse, I should say. So what they've done is they've kind of built, like, you know, when your light bulb on your car goes out and you get a warning on the dash that says, hey, your light bulb's out, and you go, oh crap. You run behind the car, you get someone to stand on the brakes, and sure enough, your left brake light is out. How did they do that? They did that with the load resistance of the bulb, talking back to the computer and telling it that, hey, something's not right here. So now they've taken that technology and they've built it into the amplifier, and that load resistance, if the amplifier doesn't see it, it says, hey, something's not right here. And it goes ahead and turns off that channel. So now what happens is you get yourself a nice Chrysler, and you go in and you hook up some speaker wires to it, you plug it into an LC7i, and you have no audio, and you're like, what the heck is going on? You go ahead and hook a test speaker up, all of a sudden it works, and you're like, oh my gosh, why is it working? Well, because you put that load back on that amplifier and it told it to turn on. So now you have it on, you hook it up to LCI, everything works, turn the car off, turn it back on, it's gone again. And you're like, oh my God, where did it go? Sorry, Tony, voice is killing me. So what load resistors are designed to do is put a small amount of load onto that factory amplifier to in turn tell it that, hey, stay on. Now, that's it. That's all there is to it. The mystery is, what ohm load do you need to use? Obviously, you could just use a 4 ohm load and it would work every time. The problem is that's kind of big. You really don't need something that big. So now there's a couple sizes that people have kind of fallen into, like 54, 22, 30 something. I don't know, I got a drawer full of them. You can also order them now from PAC as well as Metra. So that's the idea behind a load resistor. We hope that works it out. Okay, Kenwood review. Yes, the DNX 996. We're not going to do the 996. We're going to do the 9906. They're the exact same radios with the exception of 2 things, navigation and something that works with navigation. Not sick, just lost my voice from talking too much. It's a curse. It had too much partying last night at the anniversary.
Yeah? Ooh, a lot of drinking, baby.
Yeah, I wish. Anyways, what were we talking about? Totally sidetracked. So that's load resistance. I hope that kind of clears that up a little bit. Now, where that gets funny is that our audio control makes LGD, okay? And that's a totally different animal. That's a Zobel network load resistor, kind of. It doesn't actually have enough load resistance to wake up a Dodge or something like that. That is specifically used in a Ford to level the output of the Class D amplifier. So what happens is, now the Class D amplifiers, if they don't have a small resistance on them, they can rail the high frequencies, making those high frequencies go crazy. So I put in the LGD on there, which is those blue little funky things that look like, I have one. Could you grab me the LGD real quick? It should be in the second drawer down from the top. What those are going to do is it uses that Zobel network of resistors to just fool that amplifier. This is who you guys have seen in the videos and go, why do you have a high level and a low level in there? It's not high level, it's a LGD Zobel network. Anyways, what that's designed to do is smooth out that amplifier so that the high frequencies don't go through the roof. Now, Audio Control is beta testing right now a Dodge version of this, which is going to have the Zobel network and a higher load resistance built into it, so that it'll do the same thing for Dodge. And I'm sure that'll be out here soon. Okay, multimeter is a fluke, and it goes down to ohms when it shows, yeah, yes it does. Okay. Have you seen the new Android radios that have SP diffs out? No, because it's an Android radio. I think the new Elevate has the SP diff output. I'm not 100% sure on that. We're not reviewing that one yet. Oh, I know what I was saying. The 9906. We're going to review that one. The plan is to do it this week. If I get my voice back, I'm going to do the Kenwood this week. If I don't get my voice back, well, you'll know Saturday because you won't have seen it by then. But anyways, I think the new Elevate has it. We're waiting to review the Elevate because there's some other stuff that's coming out with it, and they kind of want to do an all-in-one thing. I had a talk with the guy in charge of that over at Amp Global last week. Saw some really cool stuff that they have working with that radio. For some of you guys with specific cars, it's going to be awesome. That's all I can say about that. But I believe that one does too. Keep in mind, though, the problem with SP diff, it's geared towards a very specific person. And not everyone is going to enjoy the benefits of it. What do you do when it's a coax but DSP is optical? So, funny you should ask that question. So SP diff is basically fiber optic or digital connection. There's two different types. There's the fiber optic and there's the coaxial. Some DSPs will have both. Other DSPs will only have one. So, for example, a DSR1 has a coax version of it, whereas a audio control has the fiber. So what you do is you buy this guy right here. This is a SP diff to coax adapter. So let's say you buy an Amp Pro for a GM, or you buy an Amp Pro and you buy the SP diff and you hook it in a DSR1. Well, you can pick up this guy right here. I don't know who makes it. And that'll go ahead and convert that output from that Amp Pro fiber optic to coax. And then you buy a cool Orange RCA and you're all set. Okay. I have 5 fluke meters and 4 some. 2 resistance. So it leads together, so I cannot use them all so I can use it. So yeah, leads are a big issue when it comes to multimeters. We buy a ton of leads because we go through them a lot. There isn't no such thing as an awesome lead for that. But hey, you're welcome, Hammer. Hey D, oh darn, you flying flu again? No, actually, it's just I lost my voice last night. I was on the phone with Ada, and yeah, apparently I had too much fun at my anniversary yesterday. It was my wedding anniversary. For those who didn't catch the show last night, that's 24 years of marriage. It was also tax day, and yes, by design, I got married on tax day. It was a Saturday. I wanted the Saturday off. I figured it was the only way I could do it. Plus, it was tax day. I figured I'd remember tax day and my wedding anniversary forever and ever. You know, that's a pro tip, by the way. Get married on a day that's something special, so it's easy to remember. That's truth. I mean, that's why I did it. I mean,
that was the trick.
That was the trick. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, but it's true. Dean, what's your take on the Pioneer X8650 head unit? What is the 8650 head unit? Do you know?
8650 head unit.
Dang, I was just on Pioneer's website too. Hopefully that's not that silly little phone radio, is it? If it's 8650, that's gonna. All right, I'll have to look that one. Honestly, don't know. I can tell you the one I don't like is that little phone cradle thing. That thing was a nightmare. That's why we're not gonna review it, because we had nothing but problems. 10 years in July. Good on you, man. Do you guys always? What did that say? I'm sorry. Hold on. Do you guys always gut out the factory crossover in your component speaker jobs? Also love the vids. Scott Kramer, Carl. Do you guys always gut out the factory crossover? Oh, I get what you're thinking. Yeah, so if there's a factory crossover, they're coming out. If you're talking about the factory crossovers that come with speakers, like sometimes you see them, they're wrapped in shrink wrap. That's actually how the manufacturer's packaging those now to make life a little bit easier for the installers. So like Alpine has been doing it like that for a couple years now, many years now. And if you buy the the Focal Integration series, they come that way as well. Pioneer started doing it. I think Kenwood started doing it as well. What's up from Australia? My components. Oh wow, my whole pocket supposed to 5 6 at the crossover. Multimeter leads are good. Any ideas? Is it before or after the crossover? Because when you're metering after the crossover, like where you're going to do input, you're never going to get an accurate reading because you're trying to read through the resistors, the capacitors, and the coils. It's not going to give you a 4 ohm load. The 4 ohm load is an average active load. Do you recommend the Hertz Audio H8 or Bit 1? Bit 1's a bit old. If I gotta use anyone, I'm probably gonna use the Hertz H8, but I'm probably gonna look on to something else. I can tell you that they are coming out with a new Audison processor here next year that's gonna be phenomenal. I played with the software at Knowledge Fest. It was incredible. They also make the Prima line. It's gonna be more in line with that type of a DSP that they have. That is a more evolved process. You know, if I was to recommend a DSP, there's so many other DSPs out there, I would probably go with something else. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There again, it's a great DSP, but I'm into the new hotness, I guess, would be the way to look at that. Not the old. And that was for Men in Black. It's the same for the others. Okay. Damn, Dean, you sick. Voice is gone, man. Happy belated birthday. Thank you. Okay, what do we got here? 12 years in August. That's great. Hey, yeah, Zapco. There you go. That's a good one. And if I'm looking off, I'm sorry. The way we just have this kind of set up on the bench to do this test, everything is all screwed up. So it's not the normal show. Okay, thanks. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Get a voice box translator by Foske. Yeah. Hope I get better soon too. Toyota Camry 360 factory camera be retained with a Maestro R. That's a great question. Because on some of the new Maestro stuff, you can retain some of that active camera stuff. I would recommend giving them a call. When it comes to tech support, they have the best tech support in the industry. No offense against the guys I know at every place else, but dude, iData guys are off the hook with tech support. So if you've got a question, they've got an answer, give them a call for sure. Understandable, optimizing the output of the amplifier, totally understand. I hear distortion in your voice. Oh dude, that's the best one. That's the best one, Frank. The F-150 you did with the D6-1200 LCA, did you add an extra battery? Believe it or not, no, we did not add an extra battery, and that had no issues whatsoever. So that one is a funny one. So that actually started out as just a 1200. So we did this system where we put the 1200 in. The 1200 was running fronts, rear, and sub. He did some comp RTs, and it was great. But he woke up one morning and it was like, dude, I want my 90s bass back. I want to play some DJ Bass Boy. I want to play some Techmaster. I want to go crazy. So we're like, okay, so if you want to go crazy, we're going to put a Fox box in there. We're going to put some big ass woofers, and we're going to put a bunch of power. So we pulled out the 1200, rewired the whole thing, put it all back in as 1200 because there was no way we were going to be able to just add in that second amplifier. We had already ran 0 gauge in it, so we were good there. So it was just a matter of really, we pulled everything out, pulled out the power wire, RCAs, the whole 9 yards, because we wanted to redo the whole install so that it would be, you know, the way we do things, as opposed to just slapping in that 1.800. So then what we did is we went ahead and bridged the 1200 instead of going active. We bridged because he wanted power. He wanted to be loud. So we put channels 1 and 2 on the front door, channels 3 and 4 on the passenger door, driver's door, passenger door. Had a boatload of power, a ton of bass. The thing was crazy. He loved it. I feel like I'm stalking you. Hey, it's Jeff Smith, everyone. You guys know Jeff Smith. He's the guy that promised you guys some CDs. Oh, yeah. CDs, discs. Hey, he's right behind us. Come on in. Come on. Come on. Look at that. There he is. Come on, you silly. Oh, dude,
I didn't know you were shooting.
Well, we had a problem on Saturday, and then we had a problem yesterday. So what we decided to do was just do a test.
Okay.
And of course, I lost my voice. Here's, come on over here, so
All
you're
right.
not jammed in there.
What's up? What's up? I really didn't know you were shooting.
No, it's okay, man.
There was a customer standing in the
Yeah,
lobby.
yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, what's going on?
Yeah. So here we go. So, dude, have you seen the reviews on the video?
No.
Dude, it has gone crazy. So your boy, the guy you're trading for the 15s. Why am I forgetting his name?
Justin Murphy.
Yeah, Justin Murphy. Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry, Justin. Sorry, we talked for like an hour last night, so you'd
Yeah.
think I'd remember these things. But, so Justin, of course, shared it on their channel, SQ for Dummies.
Oh, okay.
And, so, yeah, a lot of guys have watched it. Apparently, because I sat there and played the other role, I can't tune shit. Everyone's like, oh my God. I'm like, dude, no, I'm asking the master pro, the guy that does this. I don't know anything about this show
It's
circuit
all good.
thing.
All
So,
good.
I mean, the tune I do is totally different than what they want.
Right.
You know, that's just crazy. But, dude, it's like every other comment is, I want a disc, I want a disc, I want a disc, I want a
All
disc.
right.
But no, it was crazy. So they're not going to let you forget the disc.
Not a problem. I'll bring you some for sure.
So everyone's saying, hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Ricola. Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. How do I get that CD sent to Puerto Rico? You pay the crazy shipping. There's like $10 for shipping on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We have
silly.
a distributor down in Puerto Rico. I don't know if they do shows down there though.
Someone was asking about Canada too.
There used to be a ton of shows in Canada. Like we used to go up to Toronto for it was what's the name of the show we used to go to in Toronto years ago? But it was a huge show up there. But there's still
Do you know any shows coming on the West Coast?
shows on the West Coast. Yeah, there's some guys out there that hold a lot of shows. Scott Welch and his whole team of guys. They're predominantly in Northern California, but they will pretty much go anywhere anyone wants to have a
Do you have
show.
a contact or what his organization is?
It's pretty much, I don't know if they officially do through SQology, but I know,
So SQology is really the place to hang out.
well, I mean, they're pretty much the show coordinators. I don't know if the shows that Scott does out there are through SQology, but I know he has some affiliation.
So when I was pegging around the site on Iasca, they do have all the shows listed there, you know, because you can pre-register. So when you go
Right.
to buy the CD, they had a bunch of shows listed there, so you could pre-register into the
Right.
get that.
Yeah, there's a lot of mecha shows growing out on the West Coast as well.
Ever gonna do an HDR backup camera? Can't answer that question, so that's a yes. So yeah, a lot of shows. So the next show is in Atlanta. I'm guessing in June. Is that the next big show?
Well, no, next big show is Texas.
Oh, that was in.
That's the end of April, end of this
like
month.
we were talking
in
about.
2 weeks.
Yep.
Then after that, the next big show is the Atlanta show
Yep.
at Hybrid Audio. It's their big
it's
summer
the
show,
First and second.
right? And then after that, it's the end of
Jeff had
July.
the best first name, by the way, according
Oh.
to Jeff.
Then it's the end of July in Ohio, which is Still Valley Regional. Then after that, I'm not sure. Typically, it goes in that order, but I'm sure there's a lot of other smaller shows here and there.
Yeah.
Tons of events.
So real quick, you asked Evan. You asked about the 61200 with a set of K2 focals. The K2s are 2-ohm speakers. That amplifier is designed. It's one of the few Class Ds that is really designed to run at 2-ohm. When you mention those two combinations to Chris Bennett at Audio Control, he gets all like, yes, do that.
Yeah.
So, yes, do that. It's freaking awesome. I can tell you from experience, we've done some of the K2s on the D4.800 at 2 ohm with the DSP. It's been phenomenal. Phenomenal. Tons and tons of power. Anyways, yep.
So Tehran is asking if you lose sound quality when you're going from 4 ohm to 2 ohm on interior speakers. It depends on the amplifier. If the amplifier is designed to work at a 2 ohm load, then no, not at all.
And let me clarify, being designed to work at 2 ohm and being capable of playing at 2 ohm
Right.
are two totally different things. So a lot of amplifiers will say they can play at 2 ohm. It doesn't mean they're going to sound good at 2 ohm. It just
Exactly.
means they can do it.
Exactly.
What I was talking about was that amplifier was specifically designed that it was going to be run at 2 ohms, which means it can do 4 ohms just fine. So, and I believe, aren't your Phoenix the same way?
Phoenix amplifiers actually will do 1 ohm stereo.
So there you go.
So the SX2s
Well,
and
do,
the
but what are they made to
TI3,
run?
they are totally made to run.
So
in
there
those
you go.
scenarios.
So
Because
that's
a lot of guys who used to do the KRX 3-ways,
Yeah.
the mid-bass driver
Yeah.
would always go below 1 ohm and shut down a lot of amplifiers.
Okay.
That was a good reason a lot of our Focal dealers started picking up the PG amplifiers, because the Elites, the SX2s, and the TI3s, they would all take that impedance swing,
Right.
and they wouldn't go into protection.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you a lot of amplifiers, a lot of D-class amplifiers, you do not want to run 2 ohm.
Yeah, they lose their
They go-
ability to control themselves.
They go all kinds of crazy. It's
Yeah,
like,
as long as they're, like you said, built for that and not just capable.
So
of
then the
doing
next
that.
question is always the same thing. Well, how can you tell? Price tag. Price tag, man. It's gonna be price tag.
Yeah,
I mean, it's price tag. It's
yeah,
100%.
yeah. The
price
cheaper
tag.
stuff's not going to do it.
Yeah.
Hammer says Dynaudio MW182 or Illusion C10 for 10-inch mid-bass and custom doors.
That's you, man. That's all you. That's all you.
I'm very familiar with both of those guys. If you're going to do a sealed enclosure, I would probably say the C10. If you're going to do a IB mount in the door of free air, definitely the 182. The sealed enclosure requirements of the MW182 are much larger than what the C10 needs in a sealed enclosure for good mid bass.
I'm
let's
doing
see.
wonderful. Yeah, yeah. Doing good, doing good.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing the 27th? Saturday the 27th.
April?
Yes.
That's the first day of Aggieland, the show in Texas.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
What's going on 27th?
Fernando's got to do something. He's not going to be here. So
Oh, yeah, I'll be in Texas for that show and Chris Pate's Aggieland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to ask.
I wish.
I will find someone else.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll bring your partner.
He should be back by then.
Torture the hell out of him.
Yeah, he's on the road right now. So
I was thinking
he's out
about
in
that,
Texas.
or I don't know. I got a couple guys. So it's a Saturday coming up that Fernando's not going to be here. So I'm just trying to think of who I can bring in to fill in for him, other than Haley. Because as much as you guys love having Haley on the show, yeah, she doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I was thinking.
Yeah.
I didn't want to bug you because
No,
you were
no
on last
worries.
time.
Yeah, no
so
worries.
I was like, who
Yeah.
else kind of? And then I had this thought. I was like, maybe I should bring Nathan on. And then I was like, he would never do it. I can never get him.
He's
to do
always
it.
at the beach on Saturdays anyway.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's not till 6 o'clock. So.
Oh, okay.
Mind me asking, have you ever got MSRP on the new Audison Forza amplifier DSP? Honestly, the first Forza we've ever had is sitting on the shelf over there, which you guys saw in the video.
Sunday.
So I haven't. That's a deal that I worked out with them. Paul hasn't decided if he wants to bring those in. Lately, the things like that are expensive, he's been, hey, if they're going to send you one, you tell me if we should carry it. So I'm like, okay.
Right.
So I don't know yet. I've played with the software for about 15 minutes, which is usually all it takes. And then I was like, yeah, I'm cool with this.
Yeah.
Let's have a lot of fun. It's a neat
So
software.
Carlos says, I have a 2012 Acura TL ELS premium system. I want to build full system, two-way components, 6.5 components, 6.5-inch coaxials in the rear deck, and 1 or 2 subwoofers.
And then he also says, I'm not sure, should I keep, upgrade the center? I would like to know what I need. What year was it? 2012?
2012 Acura TL. Pretty sure on the 12 TL
Is that variable
ELS, I want to say that 12 is variable before the amplifier.
voltage? Yeah, if it's like an Accord, it would
It's
be.
variable in front of the amplifier.
So what we mean by variable voltage is essentially if you take your voltmeter and go, which we had a bunch of videos on variable voltage. If you watch the video on my Camaro, we show you variable voltage. What that means is as you turn up and down the volume, the input to the amplifier, just like a preamp section, will go up and down. It's usually below 5 volts. So essentially all you need to do is either around some RCAs and go into your DSP,
Right.
or Startups RCA is going to a DSP.
Yep. And go
You know,
from there.
and
2
go
channel
from
full
there.
range variable volumes, just fine in that ELS
Now,
system.
if you're totally screwed and it isn't that, then there's a couple choices you have going after the amplifier. There's always the summing, where you can go ahead and sum a bunch of stuff together, or you can do what's called channel for channel. I'm coining that, by the way.
Right.
Channel for channel is where if you have 12 channels of output, you put 12 channels of amplifier in there.
The actual up mixer in the ELS system is actually pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
what we like to do in the Lexuses.
Yep.
You know, we'll throw an EQ in front of it.
Here's an interesting fact for you.
Okay.
The gentleman that worked at Panasonic that designed the ELS system, his name is Nathan Budiano.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Natan Budiano.
You and your names.
He is a avid IASCA competitor and a engineer for Harman.
Yes, he competes with the Harman processor that he.
Yes. Now, it's one of the
So
amplifiers that he
does
can
channel
actually
to
tune.
channel?
Yeah, and he works for. He's doing all the Lexicon Lexus stuff
Yeah.
now. So yeah.
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 So, you know, a lot of the times what you run into is these factory premium systems aren't terrible. They're just EQ'd and the speakers suck.
Yeah,
So-
they have to be more pleasing for all seats than just
Yeah.
dialed in for the driver.
So something like a Forza with 8 channels of output allows you to go in there. It's not necessarily the time correction and all that jazz. It's going in there and being able to have 8 EQs. So you can put any speaker you want and you can EQ it a little bit, which
Right.
usually makes it sound a lot better.
Yep.
And then, because they have the time correction done, and they've done it way more sophisticated than using a tape measure or a laser.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah, they have some pretty unique tools for
yeah.
doing those things.
Pretty unique. Good words. 2012 Honda Pilot dash kit. Keep on dreaming. For a doubled in, yes, but you don't need a doubled in because you have an Elevate, which I've actually already seen in a Honda Pilot. Looks really nice. And if you're not an Elevate guy, which is Stinger, you can go with a Halo 9.
Yep.
They have 2 of those now, and I've seen that in a Pilot, and that looks really nice too.
What about
So-
that Pioneer piece?
It doesn't have the cool mount.
Oh, okay.
So it's made to be back mounted.
Got it.
You know, they went that way.
Got it.
They meant to come from behind. You guys coming from the front.
Right.
You know,
Got
you people see you coming. So I would check one of those out for that truck. Have any open locations behind the door panel that fit a 6.5-inch driver location? What car is that? I don't even know what kind of car it is. Oh, that was that same question, maybe. I don't know. Take it off. You got to find out. Sometimes you got to look.
Oh, is this that same
I think so.
vehicle from before?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all hybrid 602s. So cool. Well, hey, that was fun.
All right.
Yeah?
Yep.
Roped you into that one?
Hey.
Yeah, I know.
All good.
All right, guys. I'm your Roger Fosgate fanboy. LOL. I own 9 amps. Oh, Jesus. He sounds like Justin.
Yeah, Justin's got a ton of stuff.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, from South Africa. What's going on? He's probably getting ready for bed.
Yeah.
Well, hey guys, thanks for tuning in for this test so we can make sure this thing actually works today. It was kind of not planned, and of course with the throat the way it is, I really wasn't planning on talking to you guys.
Definitely
but-
wasn't planned. I was just
Yeah,
about to say what's up.
So, you guys have a wonderful night. We'll see you guys on Saturday.
All right. See ya.